Features 10 rounds in the middleweight division. At ringside, your judges will be Jerry Cantu, Eddie Hernandez, and Pat Russell. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Jack Reese. And now, first introducing the red corner. He wears the black and gold. His professional record, 20 wins, 10 defeats with 1 draw, 14 wins by way of knockout. Fighting out of Paris, Arkansas, Delray, the Rainmaker Reigns. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black and silver, the former champion enters today with 22 professional victories, 5 defeats, 18 wins, coming by way of knockout from Mexicali, Mexico, introducing Alfredo, El Perro Angulo.
Okay, guys, I give you both instructions. I just want to remind you, listen and obey my commands at all time. Protect yourself at all time. Good luck to both of you.
Our referee for this fight, Jack Reese, a proud graduate of Lincoln High School in Brooklyn, New York. Same high school as one Marv Albert.
Is it on me?
True story.
Man.
I forget Daniel Jacobs, also a proud graduate of Lincoln High School.
You ready? You ready?
Place is loaded. Here we go. This one's scheduled for 10 rounds. Angulo taking on Delray Reigns. Both men in the black trunks, Reigns with the black and the gold trim.
And it's really amazing the reception that Alfredo Angulo Pedro gets, from his California fans. It sounds almost louder here than in the main event.
Yep.
And, the people have a lot of respect for Pedro, even though he's coming off 3 straight losses because of the style that he fights.
He is looking to end a 3-fight losing streak. Knocked out in 2 of those. He'd like to turn things around here against Delray Reigns.
Yeah, and obviously when you see both guys in there, Delray Reigns is going to have to maintain a distance, use that left jab, hit Pedro with the jabs on his way in, and make sure when Pedro does get in that he can catch him. Making nice use of that left hand early in this first round, Todd.
All right, if Delray Reigns is to pull it off here and get the better of Angulo, what does he have to do?
Yeah, he's got to stay on the outside like we talked about. Stay on that back foot. Hit Alfredo when he's walking in with the left jab, land the right hand. Alfredo doesn't move his head. There's no mystery or secret about that. So Delray's got to let his hands go when Pedro's coming in and not stay on the inside when Pedro gets close.
Stop, stop, stop. Separate. Box.
Talking about a fighter that's kind of set in his ways with Angulo not moving his head, and his corner recognized that. Is that something they would work with and say, you've got to start moving your head or someone's going to knock it off?
You think you would do that, but after the Ruslan de Lara fight, he was a very competitive fight. Pedro was stopped late in that fight, and then Saul Alvarez, obviously a devastating knockout that he scored against Pedro. But in the very next fight, James De La Rosa, kind of a unknown guy who's always been talented, was a good amateur. He went out there and really outboxed Angulo as well. You would think after one of those fights, the corner would say, listen, we got to make some adjustments. But, Pedro is what he is. He's an aggressive kid. He comes forward. And he likes to initiate and, get inside and provide action-packed fights.
Delray Reigns trying to stay on the outside, using that reach advantage, and as Angulo continues to come forward. But when he does come forward, you got to give him a little credit. When he comes in there, BJ, he does his damage. He gets in with combinations. Yeah,
he does. He's shooting them now. He's a slow starter, and obviously he's got 10 rounds to work with here.
Right.
I've got Delray Reigns easily winning this first round, but it's just a matter of time, I think, before Angulo catches up with him. So Delray coming from Arkansas, it's very difficult to get the type of training that you need to beat a guy like Angulo.
Round 1 is scheduled for 10. When we return to Carson, we'll have a guest joining us ringside as none other than Aaron Martinez joins us when we return here on NBCSN. Back Back in the StubHub Center, Premier Boxing Champions. This was earlier today on NBC, the main event. Aaron Martinez goes the distance with Robert Guerrero. Aaron Martinez joining us now here ringside. Congratulations on a fantastic fight. How did you see that playing out? Because you certainly won round 4 when you knocked him down, and then the last 2 was an absolute flurry.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I understand what it is. You know, I was an underdog, and pretty much, you know, I still think I want to fight. And but, you know, as long as the fans like to fight and we put a show for NBC, you know, that's what it's all about, you know.
BJ, you called the fight with Sugar Ray Leonard and, of course, Marv Albert. Your thoughts on the performance of young Mr. Martinez?
Well, I think Aaron came out and really surprised Robert early in the fight. He backed Robert up and kind of beat him at his own game plan. And by the time Robert was adjusting later in the fight, I thought Martinez had already put in quite a few rounds in the bank. And then scoring that knockdown, I thought it was enough to eke out a close decision. But I could see how it went either way. But the 97-92 card, obviously, nobody agreed with.
Aaron, you live just up the road in East Los Angeles. What was it like fighting for you, not only in the middle of the day here in Southern California, but in front of so many fans? You told me you had to get almost 300 tickets for family and friends.
Oh, yes, you know, all my family's here. You know, I'm here every day, running up and down, driving up and down. So, you know, this is where I grew up, my home base. And this is home to me, you know, and I felt good going in the ring, you know, and it felt good.
Well, I know what else felt good for you and your corner was that round 4 knockdown of the ghost, Robert Guerrero. And we'll have an opportunity to have you take a look and show us what you thought happened here on the left side of the screen. Take us through what happened here, Aaron.
Yeah, you know, I cut him with some close shots, uppercut. You know, that's usually the punches you catch a southpaw with, you know, uppercut and overhand right. And yeah, I felt it. I felt his head go down and he went down, you know. And then after that, you know, he started boxing.
Momentum is a beautiful thing, and you certainly had it after round number 4, 5, and 6. Obviously, you did a fantastic job, and then those last 2 rounds, I think both fighters, you guys put on a tremendous show here on Premier Boxing Champions.
Yeah, you know, he's a warrior. You know, he has heart. You know, I have the heart too. You know, I'm an old school fighter, Mexican fighter. I like to brawl. You know, and then like after that he started boxing. You know, and that's where I get my respect. You know, I don't have a big KO percentage, but he found out, and I said it before the fight. He'll find out about my punching power, and he felt it, and he started boxing.
1 minute to go in this one in the middleweight division between Alfredo Angulo and Delray Reigns here, round 2. This one's scheduled for 10. Hardest working man next to BJ Flores and Daniel Jacobs. You go back to work on Tuesday with your construction company. You're telling me you've got some appointments set up.
Yes, I do. You know, I'm a busy man. I like to stay busy, you know, because, you know, I've been doing this my whole life, boxing, working, and it's what I love to do. I like to build houses, you know what I'm saying? My second job.
I know you're a very good man with a hammer, a good craftsman. I know you're also a fan of boxing. Sitting next to BJ Flores, you've got Daniel Jacobs in ringside. You got a lot of great fighters here. Anyone in particular that you really look forward to watching?
I mean, everybody, man. I just love good fights. I mean, I've seen everybody fight, you know, and I mean, it's great. It's great. All these fights on PBC are great, and I enjoy everybody.
Aaron, you stick around for one more round?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. We will have the next round when we return to Carson, California. You're watching Premier Boxing Champions on NBCSN.
Delray is the boss. You're the boss, baby. Look back. Remember what I told you? This is the day. This is the night. This is our show. The only way he wins is if you mess up. He ain't got a prayer. They might.
And that was the sound during the rest period between Delray Reigns and his trainer. Happy to have Aaron Martinez joining us as he fought on the main event against Robert Guerrero, losing in a split decision. Aaron, thanks for joining us once again. And as you watch the corner and the sound that we hear from each corner, what do you like to hear after a round? Do you like to hear positive stuff, or do you want them to give you the straight truth?
I like the straight truth. You know, it's you know, you're in a fight. You know, it's. Like the fights go so fast, you know, you want to stay true and just get in there and do what you're doing wrong, do it right, you know.
You got one of the best seats in the house now. No one throwing punches at you. You've got Reigns and Angulo. How do you see this one going so far, and who's doing what well?
You know, Angulo's he's a very smart fighter too. You know, he's a heavy puncher. Yeah. I sparred with him a lot. You know, he's a really good friend of mine, and you know, it's a good fight. It's a good fight, and Angulo's putting the pressure. You know, he's taking his time.
Speaking of sparring, you told us yesterday that one of the things that was going to help you in your fight today against Guerrero was the fact that your brother, Alan, former professional as a southpaw like Guerrero, and that helped you today?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, like, you know, we always spar since we were little kids, even though he's a lighter weight, well, we spar, and I never have trouble with southpaws, you know, so I think that was a good advantage to me.
BJ, some very heavy leather being thrown now by Angulo here as we approach 140 to go in round 3.
Yeah, Todd, you see Angulo really attacking the body. Delray Reigns is just, you know, content to stand on the outside, land the jab, land the right hand, and pick his spots, but Angulo's picking up his aggression now.
Pace picking up just a little bit. We check in the corner with Daniel Jacobs.
Well, right now I'm in the corner of Angulo, and they're screaming, "Vamos, vamos." They want him to hurry up and pick up the pace. I mean, he's a pressure fighter. And the good thing for him is that he seems to have effective aggression, meaning he's cutting off the ring very well. In the first round, rather, he didn't have that much success, but he's picking up the pace and turning it into the fight that he likes, a dog fight.
BJ, how much does that play in the corner of the officials on their scorecard when you have the fighter that's constantly being the aggressor, as Pero is obviously Angulo coming forward consistently throughout this fight through 3 rounds?
I mean, I think it does, but if we have to break down the criteria of the scoring, you know, it's clean punching, effective aggression, ring generalship, and defense in that order. So you got to give the guy who's landing the clean punches the round regardless of who's coming forward. But if all other things are close, then you use the other scoring criteria to just determine who wins the round.
30 seconds to go here quickly with Aaron Martinez sitting ringside with us. Aaron, what's next for you? I know you got some other business to take care of this week, but after that, how soon do you get back in the gym and prepare for another fight?
You know, I keep saying, you know, I stay in the gym all the time. You know, even, you know, I'll take a couple of days off, and I'll keep running, you know. I stay in shape. And that's what helps me to get back in the ring. I just got to wait for my promoter to see what they say, and, you know, I'll fight anybody.
Thanks so much for your time, and congratulations on putting on a great show here in Carson. This was the action just prior, and all kinds of new technology, sports analytics, and this one, Punch Track, something that, BJ, I'll tell you, 5 years ago, you never thought something like this would be possible.
No, I think it's really neat how we can measure the speed and the power of each one of these punches. It's something very intriguing for the fans to see how hard and how fast each puncher is punching.
It's amazing. Look at the numbers, and it's even equally more impressive. You look at the baseball equivalency, and our own Daniel Jacobs has a chance, or had a chance, to fight already with those chips in the gloves. Daniel, how was it for you, and was it distracting at all?
It wasn't distracting at all. I mean, it's a little chip that goes right in your glove. It doesn't affect you in any way. You don't feel it. And for me, it was a good gauge to determine my power, to determine my speed. And moving forward, I mean, I can always go back to the tapes and see what shots are good for me, to see my opponent, how strong is he. And, you know, this can elevate the sport. This can revolutionize the sport. You know, as far as how fighters can train for fights, and how hardcore boxing fans can appreciate stuff like this. I mean, I'm a fan of it. I'm glad it's around.
Daniel, is there any truth to the rumor that you're going to go around telling people that you throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball? Because of that, right?
I'm not going to say it, but, you know, if they do their research, they'll see. But it's only for inside the ring for my opponent. Hopefully, they'll get a sweet surprise.
All right, thank you, Daniel. BJ, you've got a fight coming up. Is that something, if it is approved by the commission, is that something you would consider wearing?
Yeah, it's no problem to me at all. You know, especially if it doesn't affect my performance. You know, the main thing is I want to make sure that I'm able to function at 100%. And if the chip is in and I can't feel it, then no problem by me.
Very interesting as we continue to push the limits of what is possible here in boxing, specifically Premier Boxing Champions. The best in the business, and the technology matching. And now it's Angulo starting to heat up, bringing some very heavy punches, as Aaron Martinez shared with us in the last round, a sparring partner of his who throws some serious power shots. Got the attention now of Delray Reigns.
Yeah, he's starting to slow Delray Reigns down a bit. Delray still landing his own shots, but not having much of an effect on Angulo.
Reigns is coming off a win in February of this year, but he has not won consecutive fights since 2009, so looking to run a string together here in Carson.
And you see Angulo's content just to put his hands up and not move his head. So Delray can really tee off with that double jab in the right hand right down the pipe, and then when Angulo tries to walk him down, slide back and do the same thing again right down the middle. No trick to beating Angulo. It's just if you have the conditioning and the shape to be able to pull it off for 10 rounds.
I want to go back to the corner sound that we got 2 rounds ago from Delray Reigns' corner. His cornerman telling him basically, this is your fight to win, and he goes down on his knees.
3, look at me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Are you okay? You want to continue? Give me your gloves. You sure you're good?
So he gets the 8 count from Jack Reese. Boy, it wasn't a big power punch, B.J. Flores, but it was effective, and it was almost slow motion as Reigns just dropped to his knees.
Yeah, he set it up. Pero set it up with the jab to the body and the right hand up. It worked. He shot it again, dropped Delray Reigns, and I think it was just more, frustration from Delray, more so than him being unable to stand up.
Took advantage as Alfredo Angulo firing off these big body shots and sets up the shot to the top, and he puts Reigns down on his knees.
You see some good work from Angulo Barrow last round, landing the right hand that scored the knockdown on Delray Reigns. He set it up very nicely with the jab right hand, jab to the body, right hand up. The second right hand got through, and Delray goes down.
Nice combination coming from Alfredo Angulo, and a nice way to finish off that last round. And now it's Delray Reigns coming out, trying to make amends for what happened at the end of that round. You hear about fighters stealing rounds at the end of it. Looks like Reigns is going to come out and try to set the tone early on this one.
And I think it's a good idea. You know, Pero had some momentum going, finishing up round number 4. So it's nice for Delray to come out at the beginning of round 5 and say, listen, I'm not affected by the punch, and it's going to go right back to what's been going on before, me beating you to the punch all night.
Both fighters in black trunks, and Angulo on the left side. And again, it is Reigns dropping to his
3,
knees.
4, 5, look at me. 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. You want to continue? 5.
And this is a situation here where, the kid Delray came in, he believes he can win in the beginning, and he thought he had a shot. And Angulo's convincing him otherwise, and you can see his heart just kind of coming out of this fight.
Coming up on the halfway point of this bout, scheduled for 10, and twice, Delray Reigns has been dropped to his knees by Alfredo Angulo. Reigns connecting a nice left there. Boy, the way Reigns is responding, BJ, does not look like those punches that took him to his knees really hurt him that much, because he's responding very quickly, coming back, throwing a lot of punches and staying active.
And Todd, he wasn't necessarily hurt, but he's used to fighting in the Midwest a lot. When he gets brought into fights like this, he's the opponent a lot of times, and he feels like, he was getting overwhelmed a little bit, and he had to go down. So, it's coming back nicely. He wasn't, separated from his senses by any means, and I don't think he was in that much trouble. Physically, he's still the more...
Oh, and one more time, and this time it buckles the
3,
knees.
look at me. 4, 5, you want to continue? 6.
That's it.
Stay right
Jeff
here.
Reese asks if he wants to continue, and Reigns says, I've had enough.
Stay right here, bro. Good job, though, man. You hung tight for 5 rounds, brother. You okay?
Almost identical, B.J. Flores, the way that Angulo attacked Reigns, putting him down in slow motion to his knees 3 times.
Every time with the same combination, Todd, the jab down, the right hand up. Good mixture of punches by Angulo, but if you're Delray Reigns, you got to make an adjustment. You can't continue to get hit with the same combination over and over again if you want to compete at an elite level.
Angulo improves to 23-5, and more importantly, snaps a 3-fight losing streak, his first win since December of 2012, as Reigns falls to 20-11-1, losing 4 of his last 6 fights. Stopped in each was the last 5 defeats.
And here we see the first knockdown here. Angulo pressing forward, working, kind of grazes Delray Reigns with the right hand.
Yeah.
Nothing real powerful there, nothing really clean. So definitely caught him on the chin there. Another angle at it, we see it a little better. So the punch definitely affected Delray Reigns. He's hurt and he
Almost
goes down.
a delayed reaction there, BJ, as he caught him on the shoulder and then connected on the chin. Wow.
Good shot by Angulo. Delray's got to pick that left hand up, and he's got to make a defensive move when he's done punching.
And this is what ended it.
Beautiful right hand right on the chin. Delray was still hurt. And, you know, Delray was, at this point, kind of accepting the fact that Angulo was beating him and going to knock him out. And, you know, he just kind of let it happen. And it's frustrating to see because Delray had his moments, you know, many times during the earlier rounds and show that he can, you know, be competitive in a fight like this. But I think he just kind of accepted the fact that Angulo was going to come in and eventually knock him out.
We'll have the official decision when we return to Carson, California in the StubHub Center. You're watching Premier Boxing Champions on NBCSN.